We created Hilltop Coffee Kitchen as a space for the local community. I grew up only child, single mom, so small business and entrepreneurship has always been in my blood. My name is Ajay Relani. I am the co-creator of Hilltop Coffee Kitchen. My partner Yoni grew up here in Inglewood as well. We met about 12 years ago at a restaurant that he was working at. I met him as a security guard, and I watched him work his way up through upper level management and eventually partnering to buy our first sports themed restaurant here in Hollywood. As a person of color, starting a business, sometimes you're starting at a deficit. I think people are questioning your intentions or your capabilities and your ability to operate at a high level. On the intention piece, I think, there's always people that are questioning your motives, whether or not you're from the community, whether or not you're ironing out every single detail of your space and your offering. Majority of the community embraced us because they just wanted our offering, and then there's always that small subset of the population that questions your intentions, and you just overcome them by pushing through and continuing to deliver on a quality experience. I think one of the challenges that we faced early on is people question our intention and if we were actually the owners. They didn't think that a black and an Indian man, that the both of us were the actual owners. They thought that we were kind of talking heads for another group. There was a lot of chatter online and Facebook groups and Nextdoor apps, but then overall we overcame that pretty quickly by consistently delivering on our promises, even beyond our grand opening. I think the Hilltop brand was built with the community in mind. We intentionally put the first location right here on Slauson, which is an area that we frequented as youth, an area that was mostly filled with fast food. And even when we thought about what we wanted Hilltop to be, we wanted it to be a space that had high quality food and beverage offering. A lot of our friends and people that we grew up with still live in this community, often complaining about having to drive 30 to 45 minutes to get a cup of coffee or have a meeting or do things that people do in a coffee shop. So for us, being able to spending a lot of our time working on ideas, building on businesses in settings like this, it was super important for us to bring that to the community that meant so much to us. Everything that we do is with intention. Every ingredient that we choose, every menu item, every promotion, every special, every event. At Hilltop, we really pride ourselves on bringing people together for all the right reasons. Everything down to our menu items, to the way that we designed our space, down to the investors that we were able to attract to kind of come on this journey with us, are all people that have ties and strong roots to this local community. Our sincerity of intent has been there from the jump. You're always going to deal with people that might not align or believe you out of the gate, but you just kind of persevere through that by continuing to remember why you started in the first place, and eventually, everybody kind of gets on board. Another thing that sets us apart from most coffee shops is our food is fire. We're not your typical coffee shop that just features food. Our food is, you could put it up there with the best of the best. Our bang and breakfast sandwich and our bang and breakfast burrito are two of the best in the city of Los Angeles. We'd put it up against anybody else. As people of color in general, we just face so many hurdles even getting to the starting point. We wouldn't be here without the community. I think the reason why we exist is for this community, and I think early on we wanted to be known why we were here and who we were trying to serve, and understanding the incumbent community that's been here for decades, and just bringing a higher quality offering to the area that complements everything that's already here. But everything that we do is rooted in this idea of community and connectivity. We do our best to hire from the community. We feel really good about our efforts to teach leadership and entrepreneurship through entry-level employment. And then when we think about the entrepreneurs, the creative, and the community organizers that kind of come here, our dream was just to create a space where people can kind of connect and build on those ideas and play a small part in their journeys and their climbs. It's really just a conduit for connectivity. It's a way for people to come together and have conversations that transcend their own situations and experiences in their own lives. And we really pride ourselves in the variety of uses of our space. It's been amazing to open our space for art events and live music. The advice that I would give any black, female, underrepresented minority, anybody that's a member of a historically marginalized group, is that your lived experience is your competitive advantage. If there's something that you don't see represented in the marketplace, create it. If not you, then who? And it's one of those things where the world is better when you create from a place and have sincerity of intent around what it is that you do. People see that and they show up, and all you got to do is start. We are fortunate to be received the way that we were and built the brand that we've been able to build, that we've been able to expand now into 4 locations across Los Angeles. We believe that the way that we kind of move and the way that we train our staff and the way that we serve the community at the highest quality is something that the more people get to experience, the more impact that we get to make, even if it's incremental based on everybody's daily interaction with the coffee that they come and get for their client. I think a decade from now, this is a brand that lives on every block across America, and it's something that we hope to serve all the communities that we go in and bringing people together for the right reasons to experience an extremely high quality environment and offering where they can feel connected with themselves and each other. One thing that we were super inspired by was Dr. King's final I've Been to the Mountain speech, the last speech that he gave. What we connected with it was, as humans and humanity at large, we all have something that we're climbing, and we all have goals and obstacles that we're trying to overcome. Like the commonality in our humanity and what brings us all together is these aspirations. So everything that we do is for the climb.